Hello students. In the previous classes, I explained about various types of cell divisions, that is amitosis and mitosis. And today we are going to discuss about the last type of cell division, that is called as meiosis. Now let us go for the details of this meiosis cell division. Meiosis, it takes place in the germ cells. Germ cells means the cells which undergoes division to produce gametes. Then that type of gamete producing cells, they are called as germ cells, and this gametes are produced by the division. That division only it is called as meiosis. Whereas this meiosis concept was first of all identified by August Weismann, where it was detailedly observed and studied by this Strasburger. Strasburger, he confirmed this particular process called as meiosis, but first of all identified by August Weismann. If the cell it is participating in meiosis, that type of cells are called as meiocytes. So the cells which participates in meiosis, they are called as meiocytes. Now, very important point I'm telling you, this is a meiocyte. Let us imagine this is a cell. Now it is going to participate in meiosis. Now, if the cell, when it is participating in meiosis, the number of the chromosomes are diploid. Hope you remember. Just yesterday's class only explained what is the meaning of ploidy. Ploidy means number of sets of chromosomes that are present in a cell. If only one set of chromosomes are present in the cells, then those cells are called as haploid cells. Example, sperm, ova. Whereas the cells which are having two sets of chromosomes, they are called as a diploid cells. If any cell it is having three sets of chromosomes, then that is called as a triploid cell. Example, endosperm. Now here the meiocyte, it is, that means the parent cell, it is diploid, that means it is having two sets of chromosomes. Now when it undergone the division, what happened, these two are the daughter cells produced. Now did you observe the daughter cells, they consisting of the reduced number of chromosomes, that means here 2n, that means diploid, two sets of chromosomes. But when it come to the daughter cells, it reduced to half, that means they are haploid. That means this daughter cells, they are not resembling the parent cell. That's why it is called as heterotypic division. Whereas this number of chromosomes are reduced to half, that's why it is called as a reduction division. Hope you understood. As the daughter cells are not identical to the parent cells, that is called as heterotypic division. Whereas the number of chromosomes here 2n, it is reduced to 1n, that means half of the number of chromosomes are reduced. That's why it is called as a reduction division. But did you observe in mitosis, what happened here, this is a parent cell, this is it is now it is participating in mitosis. Now when it is participating in mitosis, after division it produces two daughter cells, but both the daughter cells are having whatever the number of chromosomes present in the mother cell, the same number of chromosomes are present. That means these two are exactly identical to the parent cell, whereas these daughter cells are not identical to the parent cell. That's why meiosis it is called as reduction or heterotypic division, whereas mitosis it is called as equal or equational division. Hope you understood. And now let us take the process of the meiosis. Meiosis process, it takes place in two steps. The first one is meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1, again it is divided into karyokinesis 1, cytokinesis 1. Meiosis 2 also divided into karyokinesis 2 and cytokinesis 2. Now karyokinesis 1, it is divided into prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Out of this, the prophase 1 is a prolonged phase. Because it is very prolonged phase, for our convenience, again it is divided into 5 subphases. They are leptotene, zygotene, pacatine, diplotene and diakinesis. Leptotene, zygotene, pacatine, diplotene and diakinesis. Okay. Whereas karyokinesis 2 also, it is divided into prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. By seeing this flow chart, don't get worried, because meiosis 2, it is exactly similar to mitosis only. So don't worry, that means we need to discuss detailedly about meiosis 1. Meiosis 2, it is exactly equal to the mitosis. Of course, a small difference is there, because mitosis, it takes place in diploid cells, whereas this meiosis 2, it takes place in haploid cells. Anyway, I am going to detailedly explain about all this information in maximum 10-15 minutes. So let us go for meiosis 1 now. Okay, yes, this is meiosis 1. In meiosis 1, this is a first division of meiosis, where the diploid cell, the diploid parent cell, divides into two daughter cells having only half number of chromosomes. That means the number of chromosomes will be reduced. Did you notice? That is the reason why it is called as a reduction division, because the number of chromosomes are reduced. The formed daughter cells are not identical to the parent cell. That is the reason why it is called as heterotypic division. Again, this meiosis 1, it is differentiated into two. Karyokinesis 1. Karyokinesis means the nucleus division is called as karyokinesis, whereas it is further divided into prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Let us go for one after one. Okay, the first one is prophase 1, which is the longest and very complex step of the complete meiosis. That means whole meiosis process mein the toughest and the longest what I call phase, it is nothing but prophase 1. As it is the longest phase, just now I mentioned, that is the reason why it is again divided into leptotene, zygotine, pachytene, diplotin and diakinesis. Now let us go for one step after one step. Now first step, leptotene. In leptotene, the volume of the nucleus, it will be increased. See, this is the normal volume of the what you call nucleus. Now it is increased. See how it is increased. Did you notice it or not? Now in that, the thread like chromatin matrix, see, it is like a woolen ball. Did you notice it? Now this irregularly arranged, this chromatin net, it undergoes condensation. Due to the condensation, it forms the chromosomes. See how the chromosomes are arranged. Now in between these chromosomes, you can be able to see a beaded string like structure. Did you notice it? See how they are looking like a beads. Even children play with this beads also, bead strings. So like that, it's a bead string like structure which is present in between the chromosomes, and this beaded string, it is called as chromomere. Just give me 1 minute, I will detail explain what is the meaning of chromomere. Okay, now I'll come back to this point. Okay, and after the chromosome formation, all these chromosomes, they arranges in form of, in animal cells, they are arranged in form of flowers. How they are arranged in a bouquet, like that these chromosomes are arranged in the nucleus like flowers arranged in a bouquet. That's why in animals, this arrangement, it is called as, I'm sorry, in animal cells, this arrangement of the chromosomes like flowers arranged in a bouquet. That's why it is called as bouquet stage. In plants, it is arranged in form of syningesis. What is syningesis? Again I am explain two things I did not explain. The first one is chromomere and next one is syningesis. Just I'm going to explain just now. Okay, yes, this is syningesis. First of all, syningesis, it was identified by McClung. This is a scientist who identified syningesis. Syningesis is also called as syningetic knot. What is the other name of syningesis? Syningetic knot. What is this? In this, how in animals the chromosomes are arranged like a flowers in a bouquet, whereas here they are arranged like a tight clump, like a tight group, to one side of the nucleus. पूरा nucleus में all these chromosomes they move to one side and they forms like a tight group, and that type of arrangement it is called as syningesis. Hope you understood. Again, a very small recap I am giving you. In animals, the condensation results in the formation of chromosomes. These chromosomes are arranged like flowers in a bouquet. And this type of arrangement of chromosomes like flowers in a bouquet, it is called as a bouquet stage. Point number one. Point number two, in plants, they are arranged like syningesis. What is the meaning of syningesis? A tight group, a tight clump which is present towards only one side of the nucleus. That means they are not scattered throughout the nucleus, they are pushed towards one side. And this type of arrangement in plant cells it is called as syningesis. Whereas syningesis is also called as syningetic knot, or and it was identified by McClung. Hope you understood what is syningesis. Now one more point also I told I will explain you after 1 minute. What is that? In between the chromosomes you can be able to see a beaded string like structure, and that is called as chromomere. Now I am going to explain what is this chromomere. Chromomere, first of all, it was identified by Balbiani. Balbiani is a scientist who identified chromomere. Chromomere, it is also called as idiomere. Okay, now what is chromomere? We will see. Chromomere means it is a bead like or granular like structures present in the eukaryotic chromosomes, where which are formed by the coiling of the continuous DNA thread. That means the DNA which is coiled around itself in form of small beads, and these beads, how they are arranged like a string in arranged like a beaded string, and that arrangement it is called as chromomere. Again, a very short recap. In eukaryotes, the DNA it starts coiling, and due to the continuous coiling of DNA threads, it forms like, it gives the appearance of the bead string like structure. And that bead string like structure which is formed by the continuous coiling of the DNA thread in eukaryotic cells, in eukaryotic nucleus, then that arrangement it is called as a chromomere. Hope you understood. Okay, see, that means these are all the coiled DNA loops. Okay, these are all coiled DNA loops. Okay, this coiled DNA loops in form of beaded string, that only I am calling it as a chromomere. Hope you understood what is syningesis and chromomere. If you don't understand, you can ask me. Okay, now let us take of course these all points where they can be seen. Ultimately I see I already kept a heading, it can be seen in leptotin, so that only it is explained here. Okay, now let us take zygote, the next phase. Hope you remember prophase, it is divided into leptotin, zygote, pacotin, diplotin and diakinase. Till now we explained about the first phase, that is called as a leptotin. Now we are going to discuss about the second subphase, that is called as zygote. Zygote, it is also called as synaptotin. Now what is zygote? Let us see. Zygote means, now let us take a diploid cell. What is the meaning of diploid cell? Diploid cell means the cell which is having two sets of chromosomes, and that cell it is called as a diploid cell. Okay, what is the meaning of these two sets? Diploid means two sets of chromosomes. Then what is these two sets? In that one set it is given by father and one set given by mother, and the set of chromosomes, the one set of the chromosome which was given by father is called as a paternal chromosome, and the other set of the chromosome which is given by mother, that is called as a maternal chromosome. That means in our body all the cells are diploid only. So in every cell of our body it consisting of one mother cell, mother chromosomes, that means maternal chromosomes, and one set of paternal, that means father side of chromosomes, and they are all scattered. See, they are not having a proper arrangement, they are freely happily scattered in the cytoplasm. But when it comes to zygote stage, the freely scattered paternal and maternal chromosomes, now what happens, they comes like this. That means Now 46 chromosomes, they don't have proper arrangement, they are happily freely moving in the cytoplasm however they like. But when it comes to zygote, every paternal chromosome followed by one maternal chromosome. Like, just I'll tell you in a very easy way. For example, if we went to some marriage or some temple, what happens, we all the what I call people, devotees who are entering into the temple, they leave the chapels. For example, if they leave them irregularly, then what happens? It is like a mass of the chapels, am I correct or not, with no proper arrangement. For example, if all the devotees, they are putting the chapels in a stand, then what happens? Two chapels, two chapels, that means one pair in one block, one pair in one block, one pair in one block, like that. Proper arrangement can be seen, am I correct or not? Right chapel and left chapel, so like that a proper arrangement must be done, must be seen, am I correct or not? Same here. Earlier, chromosomes are like scattered. Now what happened? 46 chromosomes, they don't have any proper place. However they want, whatever the pattern they want, they are like that. But now what happened? This 46, they turned into 23 pairs. That means one paternal, one maternal, one paternal, one maternal. Now 46 chromosome, they became 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now you understood now? And that paired condition, it is called as a bivalent stage. Hope you understood. See, bivalent stage. That means this is paternal chromosome and this is a maternal chromosome. Now, like that, how many chromosomes are there in our cell? Tell me. 46. Now 46 they converted into bivalents. That means how many bivalents will be there? 23 bivalents. So easy. So 23 bivalents are formed in zygote. In what I call our cells, okay, in number of chromosomes always differ from one what I call species to another species. So I'm talking about human beings. In human beings, 23 bivalents will be produced. But a question come, what is that question? How this pairing takes place? Are abhi tak they are scattered in all over the cytoplasm, achanak kaise they get paired? This is a very important question. This process of the pairing, it is possible due to the development of a protein complex. Now let us see. This is a paternal chromosome and this is a maternal chromosome. Achanak they started binding. How they started binding? Did you notice some yellow colored thread like structure? Did you notice? This is nothing but synaptonemal complex. That means between these two chromosomes, paternal chromosome and maternal chromosome, one kind of protein complex it will be formed, and that protein complex, it is called as a synaptonemal complex. Because of the development of synaptonemal complex, the homologous chromosomes, they started pairing, and the process of pairing of the homologous chromosome is called as synapsis. Very important question. Again, I'm giving a very simple recap, a very short recap. The process of pairing of the homologous chromosomes by developing a protein complex called a synaptonemal complex. This process, it is called as synapsis. And after synapsis, this pair of the this paired chromosome, that is called as a bivalent. And this is synaptonemal, composed of 0.3 percentage. I'm sorry, it is composed of, I'm extremely sorry, I made a very small mistake. This is synaptonemal complex, it is composed of 3 thick lines of DNA and proteins. Okay, this is a composition of synaptonemal complex. Whereas zygote mein, one more small aspect also takes place. 0.3% of the DNA, it is again synthesized in zygote stage, which helps in pairing, which helps in the coupling of this particular chromosomes. Okay, now the last change in zygote is this centrosomes. See, these are centrosomes, they started moving towards opposite poles. Now 3 changes, again 3 changes. I will give you in a very short points. First point, synapsis takes place. That means the process of the pairing of homologous chromosomes by the formation of synaptonemal complex takes place, which results in the formation of 23 bivalents. The second one, 0.3 percentage of the extra DNA, it will be synthesized, which helps in the pairing. And the third point is centrosome, it starts moving towards the opposite poles. So these are the three changes that can be seen in zygotine. And leptotine, hope you remember, leptotine में condensation of the chromosomes takes place, and formation of the what you call chromomeres takes place, and the arrangement of the chromosomes takes place in form of bouquet stage in animal cells and syringes in plant cells. So these are the changes of leptotine, and these are the changes of zygotine. Now let us take the third subphase. The third subphase is called as Pacatine. Pacatine is a soul of this meiosis, and the complete meiosis it is taking place. To be frank, the hero of this complete meiosis is nothing but Pacatine. Why it is so important? See, you are all the like outputs of your parents, but none of you, you are resembling exactly either your mother or your father also. Why it is happening? Tell me. Because of this process that is called as Pacatine. If Pacatine is not there, there is no variation can be seen between parents to offsprings. That means exactly the offsprings will resemble the parents only, but that is not possible. That is only because of this Pacatine. Such a most important one. The variation it takes place in Pacatine. So it's a very important phase, students. Now such an important phase I am going to explain now. So this point I just now told, it's the most important and prolonged phase. Already prophase is prolonged. Did you see this? Already prophase 1 is a prolonged phase. Prolonged phase of prolonged phase. Pacatine is prolonged phase of the prophase 1. So already prophase 1 is prolonged. Isme prolonged phase is nothing but Pacatine. Okay. Now what happens in Pacatine? Let us see. Okay. First thing is, so these are like a paternal and this is a maternal chromosome. Okay. Now these chromosomes, they undergo a longitudinal split. See how they undergone longitudinal split. Let us take this red color. I think so this is red color only. Now this red color one is let us take mother chromosome, and let us take this yellow color one is father chromosome. Now this is mother chromosome and this is father chromosome. Now what happened? They undergoes longitudinal split. See, it results in the formation of sister chromatids. Okay, and this sister chromatids. Now what happened? They already started pairing, and that process it is called as synapsis by synaptonymal complex, and this is called as a tetrad. That means bivalent formation in zygotine stage, whereas a tetrad formation in Pacatine stage. That means longitudinal split. That means see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why it is called as a tetrad. Hope you understood. Okay. Whereas here two are arranged. That's why it is bivalent. Bivalent means two chromosomes are attached. Whereas when the chromosomes undergoes a longitudinal split, that results in tetrad formation. Okay. Now, the first stage is of Pacatine is a tetrad formation. Now, let us take the second change. Now, what is the second change? This is like a maternal chromosome, and this is a paternal chromosome. Now, a small segment of this maternal and paternal chromosomes, they gets detached. Okay, they gets detached, and this segment it comes here, and this red segment comes here, and again rejoins. Did you notice it or not? Like that, the exchange of the genetic material takes place from between two homologous chromosomes. Did you notice it or not? Now this is one homologous chromosome and this is another homologous chromosome. Now these are called as sister chromatids. Now this exchange it takes place between non-sister chromatids. That means this is of one chromosome, this is of another chromosome. That's why two opposite chromosomes may chromatids are called as non-sister chromatids. Non-sister chromatids may this chunk it comes here and this chunk it goes here, and this process of exchange of the chromosome material, that means genetic material between two non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, that is called as recombination or crossing over. This crossing over is such a very important topic. Because of this crossing over only, the exchange between the genetic material takes place. It results in the variation between the parents to the offsprings. Hope you understood, but still, even if you understand also, I'll give a very small recap. Now these are the homologous chromosomes, right? Now this homologous chromosomes, they undergoes a longitudinal split, and these two are sister chromatids and these two are sister chromatids. Now for this sister chromatid and this sister chromatid is nothing but non-sister chromatid, am I correct? Not so. Between these two non-sister chromatids, the exchange of the genetic material takes place. That means a small segment of this non-sister chromatid, it attaches to this one, and a small segment of this non-sister chromatid, it attaches to this one. Did you notice the red color wala idhar aa gaya and blue color wala idhar gaya? That means the exchange of the genetic material between two non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome, then that process, it is called as recombination or crossing over. And crossing over, it results in the exchange of the genetic material, which results in the variation between the parents to the offsprings. And this is a very very important point. Okay, now this crossing over, it is completely an enzyme mediated reaction. How? Let us see. I told either the small DNA portion it cuts, and here the small chromosomal part it cuts, and for this cutting it need an enzyme called as endonuclease. So endonuclease helps in breakage of the non-sister chromatids. Now recombinase, that means idhar wala idhar aana hai, that means idhar wala idhar aana hai and idhar wala idhar aana hai. That means they need to exchange. For that exchange, it need one more enzyme that is called as a recombinase. Now after they got exchanged, they need to attach. See how they're attached. Did you notice it or not? Red color will attach it to blue color and blue color will attach it to red color. How they're attached? For this also one more enzyme chahiye, that is called as ligase. So for cutting endonucleases, for exchange, that is for reciprocal exchange, recombinase, and for rejoining, ligase. So all these three enzymes, they helps in the crossing over or recombination. That's why the crossing over can be described as what you call enzymatic process. Now you understood na? Hope you understood Pachytene. Again, a very small recap on Pachytene. First, the bivalents, they undergoes a longitudinal split which results in the sister chromatid formation, and because of the sister chromatid formation, now it has to be described as tetrad. Earlier it is called as bivalent, now it became tetrad. Point number one. Point number two, crossing over, that means exchange of the genetic material that takes place between two homologous chromosomes, that is called as crossing over. And crossing over is, this is point number two. And the point number three is crossing over is absolutely an enzymatic process. So these are the enzymes that helps in the crossing over. So this is point number three. Hope you understood all the 3 points of the Pachytene. Now, let us take the next one, diplotin. What is diplotin? In that exchange ho gaya na, exchange it happened in Pachytene na. That's why now these chromosomes, they started repelling. That means they get detaches. So this process of repelling, it takes place by dissolving of synaptonymal complex. How they're attached? They're attached with the help of synaptonymal complex. Now they wanted to detach, so that the synaptonymal complex, they starts breaking. So see, I clearly mentioned the homologous chromosomes, they starts repelling, that means they starts detaching. So by dissolving the synaptonymal complexes, that's why it is called as desynapsis. That means the synaptonymal complex, it is breaking, so that the chromosomes, they start repelling each other. See, they start repelling. Earlier, see, they are arranged like bread slices of sandwich. Now they started going from away from each other. Did you notice it or not? But a small point, please understand, a very small point. What is that? They starts repelling throughout the chromosome except at the junction of the crossing over. That means, see, they are still attached. Did you notice it or not? That means pura chromosome repel ho gaya, but they are still attached at that point of recombination, which results in the formation of X-shaped chromosome. Did you notice this is in form of X shape, and this it is called as chiasma. So diplotin, it is characterized by the one, repelling of the chromosomes by dissolving the synaptonymal complex except at the region of the crossing over, results in the formation of X-shaped chromosomes, that is called as chiasma. Now you understood now? A very small recap, quick recap. In diplotin, the chromosomes starts repelling, that means starts detaching by dissolving synaptonymal complex, and this process it is called as a desynapsis. Point number one, they starts repelling, but except at the point of the crossing over, because they are still connected at the point of the crossing over. That's why it results in the formation of X-shaped chromosomes, and this point it is called as chiasma. And the formation of X-shaped chromosomes, that means chiasma, it is a characteristic property of the diplotin. One of the important point, diplotin, it sustains for even years also in vertebral oocytes, and this process it is called as dictyotin. Now we understood now, that means it can live for it can stuck for years together, and that phase it is called as dictyotin. Okay, now, hope you understood what is diplotin. Now, let us go for the last subphase of the prophase one, that is diakinesis. Diakinesis means terminalization of chiasma. Earlier, what happened? Repelling of the chromosomes except at the junction of crossing over. Now, the complete repelling of the chromosomes, that means even at the junction of the crossing over also. That means pura chromosomes alag alag ho jayega. And that point, that process, it is the complete repelling process, it is called as terminalization. Now we understood now. And diakinesis along with complete terminalization, here two more changes also takes place. What are they? Nuclear membrane and nucleolus, they starts disappearing, and the spindle fibers slowly they starts forming. Now let us take a very quick recap of leptotin. Leptotin may, the first one is condensation takes place, so that the chromosome formation takes place, and it arranged in form of what you call bouquet in animals. So this is leptotin. So leptotin, it is characterized by condensation of the chromosomes. The next one is what? Zygotin. Zygotin, it is characterized by synapsis. Next one, pacatin. Pacatin, it is characterized by crossing over. Next one is a diplotin. Diplotin, it is characterized by repelling of the chromosomes except at the junction of the crossing over, results in chiasma or chiasmata, whereas diakinesis, complete repelling of the chromosomes, that is called as a terminalization. So five subphases, five characteristic points. Hope you understood, students, but still if you have any doubts you can ask me at any time. Okay, now students, just stop this, what I call, that means press the pause button and just go through this whatever I explained. Again, you can understand clearly by seeing these images. Okay, now let us go for the next one. What is that? Metaphase 1. Hope you remember karyokinesis 1, it is divided to form prophase 1, metaphase 1, telophase 1, and anaphase 1. Now I entered into metaphase 1. Metaphase 1, in this, all these chromosomes, these homologous chromosomes, they starts arranged in the equator region of the cell, which results in the formation of equatorial plate, and spindle fiber formation, it becomes complete. So metaphase 1, it is characterized by spindle fiber formation, and second one is arrangement of all these homologous chromosomes to the equator region, which results in the formation of metaphasic plate or equatorial plate. Okay, these are the changes that can be seen in metaphase 1. Now let us take the next phase, that is anaphase 1. Anaphase 1 mein what happens? Very important point I am telling you. If you don't understand this point I am telling you, students, you can't understand the complete meiosis. That means the complete meiosis ka sole concept, it is lying in anaphase 1 only. In anaphase 1, the chromosomes, they starts this homologous chromosomes, they starts moving towards the opposite poles. In metaphase, in anaphase of mitosis, what happened? This chromosomes, see, this is one chromosome, the sister chromatids, they starts moving towards the opposite poles. That means here the centromere will cut in mitosis, but here this is one homologous chromosome, this is one homologous chromosome. Let us take this maternal chromosome, let us take this paternal chromosome. Now what happens, this maternal chromosome, it starts moving here, and paternal chromosome, it starts moving here. That means the complete chromosomes, they started moving towards the opposite poles. They don't cut from, that means sister chromatids do not cut from the centromere. Hope you understood. Sole point I'm telling you, if you don't understand this point, complete meiosis you can't understand. So again I'm repeating this point. In anaphase 1, it is characterized by segregation or disjunction of homologous chromosomes. Division of centromere do not takes place. That means 46 chromosomes में 23 chromosomes ऊपर जाएगा, 23 chromosomes नीचे आएगा. Did you notice it or not? Here this is the most important point I'm telling you. Okay, so now anaphase, hope you understood. Now the next one is telophase. Telophase में exactly reverse to the prophase one, exactly reverse. What I explained in prophase one, tell me. What a disappearance of the nuclear membrane. See, nuclear membrane again it appeared, and the nucleolus again reappears, and haploid number of chromosomes, that means 23 paternal chromosomes and 23 maternal chromosomes. They are here 23 and here 23, so two haploid nuclei will be formed, and that is called as telophase 1. Okay, hope you understood karyokinesis 1. Okay, now let us take cytokinesis 1. Cytokinesis 1, it is mostly absent in plants. In plants में directly the 4 cells it divides in meiosis 2 only. But in animals में पहले cytokinesis होता है, बाद में again they enter into the meiosis 2. Hope you understood. Whereas in plants में क्या होता है ना, meiosis 1 followed by directly karyokinesis 2 only. There is no cytokinesis. Hope you understood. So it is absent, mostly absent in plants, whereas it is present in animals. And in animals it takes place by the cell furrow, cell cleavage method. Okay. Now interkinesis. Interkinesis means a small gap or the period, the time gap between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, that is called as interkinesis. Interkinesis means the gap that is present between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, that is called as interkinesis. Hope you understood what is cytokinesis 1, interkinesis. Now let us go for this meiosis 2. Meiosis 2, it takes place in the haploid nucleus. Now this haploid nucleus divides into the 4 daughter nuclei. Earlier the diploid cell, it converted into two haploid nucleus, 2 haploid cells. Now 2 haploid cells, they undergoes equal division to produce 4 daughter cells. That's why meiosis 2, it is exactly equivalent to mitosis. But only difference between mitosis and meiosis 2 is mitosis it takes place in the diploid cells, whereas meiosis 2 it is takes place in haploid cells. Now you understood now? Whereas here 2 haploid cells, they participate in the division to produce 4 haploid cells. That's why the parent cells, they are producing exactly identical daughter cells. That's why it is called as homotypic division. Meiosis 1 it is heterotypic division, meiosis 2 it is homotypic division. Again it is divided into karyokinesis and cytokinesis 2. Karyokinesis 2, again it is divided into prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. Sir, again this much of 40 minutes of explanation you will give? I don't give. Reason is all are very easy because they are exactly similar to mitosis only. That means those who read my mitosis notes, those who attended the mitosis lecture and understood mitosis lecture clearly, it becomes very easy for them. And now tell me, prophase 2, what happens? Prophase 1, prophase of mitosis में क्या होता है? First one, condensation. That means the thread-like chromatin material it converts into the rod-shaped chromosomes, and they undergoes a longitudinal split, which results in the formation of sister chromatids. Nuclear membrane disappears, nucleolus disappears, and because of that, the chromosomes they get scattered in throughout the cell, cytoplasm of the cell, and centrosome they starts moving towards opposite poles. Now you tell me, what is the difference between mitosis and meiosis 2? See, exactly same. That means meiosis 2 it is exactly similar to mitosis only. That means I am giving like a recap of mitosis in the name of meiosis 2. Okay. Now, metaphase. Again, here also what happens? The arrangement of the scattered chromosomes to the equatorial region, and then the spindle fiber formation. Because all these scattered chromosomes are arranged in the equator plate. See, exactly again same phase, pulling of the chromosomes, which results in the centromere, it gets cut. Earlier what I explained in anaphase 1 में chromosomes are moving, whereas homologous chromosomes are moving, whereas here the sister chromosomes are chromatids are moving towards opposite poles. That means here haploid cells are producing again haploid daughter cells. Okay, now the next one is telophase. Telophase 2 में exactly reverse of prophase. There condensation, here decondensation, that means again thread like chromatin form, thread like chromatin material it forms, where spindle fiber starts forming, whereas spindle fibers disappears. There nuclear membrane and nucleus disappears, and again here nuclear membrane nucleus again reappears. By the end, two haploid nuclei will be there. So these two haploid nuclei are formed by the parent cell 1, and these two haploid nucleus will be formed by the parent cell 2. Okay, now cytokinesis, the complete division it takes place in animals. The complete cytoplasm division it takes place by what I call as cell furrow method in animal cells, and cell wall formation in plant cells. Okay, so this is all about meiosis. So this is how the diploid cells by two steps, mitosis 1, I'm sorry, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. By these two steps, it produces two or so four daughter cells which are haploid. Now let us take what are the differences between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 may diploid cell, it is producing two haploid cells. That's why it is called heterotypic division or reduced division, reduction division. Whereas in meiosis 2, the haploid cells again they are producing two haploid cells, of course total four haploid cells. That's why homotypic division or equal or equational division. Whereas here it leads to the reduction of the chromosomes to half in the daughter cells, whereas here as it is the number of chromosomes number will be maintained. So parent cell is also haploid, and whereas here daughters are also haploid. That's why equal division. Whereas here what happens, the division of the chromosome does not takes place, only segregation of the homologous chromosomes takes place, whereas here division of the chromosomes takes place. Okay, these are the differences between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Now, let us take the conclusive part of this meiosis. What is the significance of meiosis? Meiosis, it helps in the genetic recombination, crossing over, recombination. Okay, crossing over, it results in the exchange of the genetic material between two homologous chromosomes. That's why we are different from our parents, and it results in the production of gametes. Okay, and because of the mitosis only, the number of the chromosomes it will be maintained constant from one generation to another generation. So this is the significance or importance of the meiosis. Whereas types of meiosis, there are three types of meiosis, that is zygotic meiosis, that means meiosis in life cycle of organisms occurs in the zygotic cells, example thallophyta. Whereas what do you call, sporic meiosis, that means meiosis it takes place during spore formation, and that is called as a sporic meiosis. Whereas the meiosis which is taking place during gamete formation, that is called as gametic or terminal meiosis. So these are the three types of meiosis, students. Now the last topic with this meiosis, and also the whole chapter I am going to finish it, that is the difference between mitosis and meiosis. The mitosis it takes place both in haploid cells and also diploid cells. See, meiosis 2 it is taking place in haploid cells only na? So it is taking place in haploid cells also na? Now as it is taking place in diploid cells. Okay, whereas meiosis it takes place only in the diploid cells. Okay, whereas mitosis it takes place in somatic cells, it takes place in germ cells. Here nucleus divides only once, whereas here nucleus divides two times. Whereas the daughter cells are exactly identical to the parent cell, whereas they are not identical because parent cell is diploid, whereas here the daughter cells are haploid, so they are not different na? That's why they are identical, they are unidentical. Whereas two daughter cells are formed, whereas here four daughter cells are formed because it is taking place in the nucleus divides twice now, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. That means two times division takes place. 2 2s 4. Now prophase is so simple, whereas here prophase is very big, very what you call a time taking process. That's why again it is divided into leptotene, zygotene, pacotene, diplotin, and diakinesis. That means it is a big and complicated also, whereas chiasma crossing over is completely absent, whereas here chiasma and also this crossing over are present, and soul of meiosis is nothing but crossing over only. For crossing over only, the whole meiosis it is taking place, whereas pairing of chromosomes do not takes place. That means synapses, whereas synapses it takes place. Synapses is very important, crucial step, one of the crucial steps of meiosis, whereas chromosome number in daughter nuclei it is unchanged. Obviously it is reduced to half, and it is comparatively it is a lesser time, and it is a little more because prophase it is prolonged, na? That's why meiosis it is prolonged. So now see this image, and then you will get a complete overall idea about mitosis and meiosis. Hope you understood mitosis, mitosis, and meiosis, students. But still, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you so much.